It's chaotic, but I've said it. I believe chaos brings opportunity, and I'm sure people are getting tired of me saying it, but we're going to control and continue to control what we can, and that's filling our stadiums and investing into our programs and enhancing the fan, the student athlete and staff experience, and I'm bullish on that. It's in the summer you sometimes think that things are going to die down and there's a break in action, but this is 24/7, and that's the industry we live and work in, and so it excites me. I'm passionate about it, and I take it very seriously to do my personal and serviceable best for Bronco Nation on a daily basis.
How much of what we see on social media is actually true, and just what for fans just kind of wondering what's going on behind the scenes, what is going on behind the scenes with all this and how it relates to you guys?
I would assume that I'm very similar to most ADs out there right now. It's constant communication with your president. It's calling and trying to stay ahead of what's coming, and similar to what the announcement that just had, there's a lot of silence. And so you're doing your best to run out every ground ball and trying to best position yourself in the process. And I keep going back to the reason we started and did a lot of the things that I said we were going to do when I arrived, and the things that we now have lived out in action, is to best position us, because we have a Power 5 mentality. I know what our brand is, and we're competitive, and we want to compete at the highest level and on the national stage, and so that's what I'm choosing to control in this process, and making sure that we do everything in our power to best position us for what the future holds.
I know the two conferences, I guess, that you guys get linked to, Big 12, Pac-12, just because of everything else that's out there and what's happening. Can you at least ease fans' concerns at all? Can you say if you've reached out to those, or they've reached out to you, or what? Has there been any communication that you can confirm, I guess? And I know it's a process where you're in one conference and you don't want to say too much, but what can you tell us just about how this is playing out with the two conferences you guys have been linked to?
Yeah, what I will tell you is that I believe everyone knows that we have Power 5 expectations. And they know and understand, just like most Group of Fives, our interest in competing at the highest level, and I'll leave it at that.
Why? I know you can do this behind the scenes, but why do you think you guys are a team that should be considered for one of those conferences?
I think our history speaks for itself. When you look at it, and I love seeing the data. The postseason and the viewership numbers and a lot of the things that ultimately people in the media celebrate and promote for us. I don't feel like we need to beg. I know what our brand is. I know the value of who we are. There's a purpose and a reason I'm here. And that hasn't changed since the day I arrived, and I'm more passionate about that than I was then, and that passion grows on a daily basis, and so I think our past and our present speaks for itself, and the things that we're doing and how others are copying what we're doing, which is I'm flattered. And that means that we are doing something right, and we're going to continue to work the process, and that's something that I'm really proud of our team and how they've stepped up and control what we can control, and that's filling these stadiums, that's enhancing this experience, that's when you look at the video boards, when you look at four tops and the chair backs, and you look at the playbook for success and facility goals and aspirations, we are not going to stop, and I'm not going to wait. We are going to continue to push this thing forward, and that excites me, and so when I call around the country and we go to these conferences and I talk to people, you see, when they're coming to me saying, Jeramiah, how are you guys doing this? Or that was really cool that you all were able to do that. I think that speaks for itself, and we're going to continue to live that out in action and differentiate ourselves as we move forward.
And what would your message be to fans? And obviously the uncertainty and not sure what's going on, and we're getting ready for media days next week and fall camps right around the horizon, and there's a lot of excitement. I know within all the programs. Basketball team coming off what they did.
Yeah.
But what would just be your message about fans wanting to see you get in the Power Five, or paying attention to this, they're refreshing their Twitter every minute to see what's happening? What would kind of be your final message, I guess?
I think this is probably lost because of my position. I'm a fan. I love this industry. I love our student athletes. I love our sport programs. I want what's best for them, and so I have a tremendous amount of empathy for fans and what we're going through as an industry and the changes and so I get it. I understand. I don't take offense to it. I know that there's a lot of interest, and it's not just our fan base. It's collectively those people that care about this industry. And my message to them is don't lose hope. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm truly excited and believe in this process, and I'm looking forward to what's next.
I guess final thing, what is kind of a timeline for all this? Are you expecting that there's going to be a lot of movement, and is this going to be a wait and see mode? How do you kind of envision all this playing out over the next weeks, days, months, years? What's going to happen in college?
Yeah, that's a great question, BJ, because no one saw the USC, or very few people maybe saw the USC UCLA thing happen, or last year with Texas and OU, and it's hard for me to pinpoint, or to be able to tell people this is what is going to happen. I don't know if anyone knows. I know that what we can control is being prepared to pivot and being prepared for if and when something does happen in the future that's going to domino positively for us, and we need to make sure that we are controlling everything in that process that we can. And I'm a fan, like I said, but I don't spend a lot of time worrying about things that I can't control. My job is to serve this community, to serve this institution, to serve our student athletes, our staff, our supporters, and I'm bullish on that. And my hope is that Bronco Nation knows that they're getting 100% of me, and that's all I can promise.